Isn't it fascinating to know how broad the Earth is? And I'm not just talking about the size of the planet, but how everything works. That everything on Earth is correspondent and unique for a lot of reasons, like the ecosystem. I have to ask, how well do we actually know about it? What do we know about the biogeochemical cycle? Why are invasive species harmful? How do anthropogenic effects happen? And what are epigenetics? This is Kristen Isabel speaking, and welcome to Oxygen Cycle of Aquatic Gardens. My team and I would like to share it to anyone who's watching to understand our concept of this topic. Let's start with the biogeochemical carbon cycle, shall we?
Good day everyone, I am John Timoteo Coladilla and I am discussing about the biogeochemical carbon cycle. The movement of carbon through the land, water, and air is complex in many cases. It occurs much more slowly geologically than seen between living organisms. Carbon is stored for long periods in what are known as carbon reservoirs, which include the atmosphere, bodies of liquid water, ocean sediment, soil, land sediments, and the Earth's interior. As stated, the atmosphere is major reservoir of carbon in the form of carbon dioxide and is essential to the process of photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide from the atmosphere dissolves in water and combines with water molecules to form carbonic acid, and then it ionizes to carbonate and bicarbonate ions. Elements within the biogeochemical cycles flow in various forms: the non-living abiotic components of the biosphere to the living abiotic components, and back in order for the living components of a major ecosystem to survive. All the chemical elements that make up living cells must be recycled continuously. So, the key points of my discussion: the number one, energy flows through an ecosystem and dissipated as heat, but chemical elements are recycled. The ways in which the element or compound, such as water, moves between its various living and non-living forms and locations in the biosphere is called biogeochemical cycle. Thank you.
Good day everyone, I am Madeline Duray and I will be talking about anthropogenic. But before that, what is anthropogenic? Well, anthropogenic are pollutants originating from human activities such as burning fossil fuels, water-based disposal, fertilizer production, deforestation, etc. And according to Leisure Jay's principle that if a system at equilibrium is exposed to stress, the system will shift so as to relieve the stress. Let's say we have a basket A and basket B of the same amount of apples. If I add 2 apples in basket A, it will unbalance the equilibrium, and so basket B will speed up some of the additional reactants and turn them into products and restore the equilibrium. Same thing when you deduct a product. In the global water cycle, more water is typically absorbed by the land from the atmosphere than is lost through evaporation and transpiration from plants. Therefore, we should always remember that a single drop of water could save our Earth's seaworld. Thank you.
Aquatic invasive species. It is a non-native aquatic species that invade ecosystems beyond their natural or historic range. They are spread either intentionally, like someone dumping their aquarium contents into a lake, or unintentionally by way of ships, fishing, hunting, and boating, to name a few. The following are examples of aquatic invasive species. The first one is zebra mussel. The second one is grass carp. The third one is the northern water milfoil. The fourth one is sea lamprey. The last one is the European green crab. So why are they harmful? Basically, invasive species can lead to the extinction of native plants and animals, destroy biodiversity, and permanently alter habitats through both direct and indirect effects. This can result in huge economic impacts and fundamental disruptions of aquatic and terrestrial ecosystems.
Why do humans breathe oxygen on land while fishes breathe oxygen underwater? Why can turtles breathe both oxygen on land and underwater? Why does a whale live underwater but can only breathe oxygen above water? Let me explain to you what we call epigenetics. My name is Jose Ervin Ricafrente and I am here to cater you information on epigenetics. So, what is epigenetics? Well, the study of how your behavior and the environment can cause changes that affect the way your genes work. Unlike genetic altering, epigenetics changes are reversible and do not change your DNA sequence, but they can change how your body reads a DNA sequence. Epigenetics basically means that where you live and who are you with when you grow up affects your way of living or how your genes would function. I would not go detailed on epigenetics and how it works through the alter of one's DNA, but let's give a basic example of an overview of epigenetics. If a child was raised on a very rich community, the child would develop on how the community acts. Comparing the child on someone who was raised on a very poor community, they would have a different type of personality and way of living as they were raised on a different environment. And if you would bring the child in a different area that they are in, they would be very anxious since they are not used to the different lifestyle. Now, let's talk biology. Humans breathe oxygen as their genes are designed uniquely the same as the fish. But if humans were to practice themselves to breathe underwater, it may be possible, reversing or changing something on their DNA. But it would not be very quick. It may even take numbers of decades for humans to be able to alter or reverse their DNA to be able to breathe underwater.
And there you have it, our concept for our chosen cycle and ecological reservoir. Whether we admit it or not, human existence is responsible for every individual and every group in society. As a result, environmental sustainability is critical for our population and economic growth. Our environment's ecosystems are all intertwined, so we're not only protecting and caring for our own lives, but we're also protecting the lives of animals, plants, and natural habitats. Therefore, everyone should do whatever the smallest possible thing that one can do for the environment.